One.
Hi, I'm Jenny and welcome to my kitchen. And today I'll be preparing a delicious appetizer recipe for you using our star ingredient, Philadelphia cream cheese. So to make my appetizer today, I actually drew upon another recipe which uses Philadelphia cream cheese, one of my favorite recipes, which is cheesecake. Now I know what you're thinking, wrong category, right? Well, I decided to take a different spin on cheesecake, and rather than make your sweet dessert cheesecake, I'm actually going to make a savory version. So today I'm going to be preparing for you my mini zesty Italian cheesecakes. So let's get started. First of all, any cheesecake needs a crust. So to make the crust for our savory cheesecakes, we're actually going to use 3/4 of a cup of pretzel crumbs. And basically what this is about 2 cups of whole pretzels that you're going to take and just whiz up in your food processor until you get crumbs. So we've got 3/4 of a cup of crumbs. And to this mixture, we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. So I've got my melted butter here, which I melted. I'm just going to add that to our bowl. And this is what's going to bind our crust together and hold it all together. So we're just going to stir this all up and get it all nicely incorporated until you get like a soft, crumbly mixture. So that's our crust base. So with this mixture, what we're now going to do is take mini muffin tin, and this is a non-stick tin, so you don't have to worry about greasing it or using any type of cooking spray, and you're also going to have the butter from the crust that's going to keep it from sticking. So with our crumb mixture, we're going to take approximately 1 tablespoon of our mixture, and we're going to place it in the bottom of each tin. So now once we've got our crumbs in the tin, we're just going to flatten that out. Now I've got my fancy little tart tool here which helps me along, but you can also use, of course, your fingers, the cook's best tools in the kitchen, or you can also use the back of a tablespoon to just flatten it all out. So you're going to do this for each of your different cups. Just get that all nicely spread out. There we go, there we have it. So now we have our tart base, or our cheesecake base, done. And we're gonna pop this in the oven at 300 degrees. I've already preheated my oven to 300 degrees. And we're gonna let this go for 6 minutes, just to get them a little bit toasted up. So this is gonna go into my oven. So we'll just let that go for 6 minutes. And then we'll get started on our filling. Okay, so we've got our bases baking away at 300 degrees on the middle rack of the oven, and now we're going to move on to the mixture, the filling for the cheesecake. So, in my mixing bowl, I'm going to add a 250 gram package of Philadelphia cream cheese, softened at room temperature, along with 1 cup of sour cream, and I'm just going to pop this in my mixer with the paddle attachment and just whip it up so that it gets into a nice smooth creamy mixture. So now to my whipped mixture, I'm going to add 2 eggs. Now that our eggs have been nicely incorporated, I'm going to add the flavorings to the cheesecake. So we're going to add next 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and this is just going to help to bind the cheesecake a little bit. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning mix. So this is going to bring a nice flavor to the cheesecake, and you've already got quite a bit of flavor packed into this little tiny bit of seasoning as well. Now you can use your favorite store-bought brand, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to let that go 1 more minute to get all incorporated. So now we've got our seasoning in there, and now it's time for the rest of the zesty Italian part. We've got another 2 tablespoons of pesto. Now this is homemade pesto, but of course you can use your favorite store-bought brand. That'll work just fine as well. And finally, we've got 5 tablespoons of chopped sun-dried tomatoes. So once again, we're just going to get this going and just let it all get incorporated, scraping down the sides of the bowl as well here. So now we've got a nice incorporated mixture, nice and smooth because our cream cheese has softened and we've gotten the lumps out with the mixer. And we've got a lovely tri-colored mix between the green pesto and the red sun-dried tomatoes, almost resembling the colors of the Italian flag, so to speak. So now we're going to take our mixture, all nicely incorporated, and let me just show you what this looks like. So we've got this lovely tri-colored mixture here. Now we're going to take this and fill our shells. So I've got some that I've already prepared earlier on that have cooled. So here's our little tart base right here, all ready to go. And we're going to take approximately 1 tablespoon of the mixture and place it into each of the cups. So this actually makes quite a lovely little appetizer for an elegant dinner party. And with this recipe, you'll get approximately 36 of the mini cheesecakes, so you get quite a nice batch. And of course, if you're preparing for a party, these can be made a few days in advance and left in the refrigerator, or they actually freeze very well. So you can make them in advance and pop them in your freezer and then just defrost them when needed. So there we go. Here's our last one here. And so I like to just give it a little bit of a tap and shake it out just to smooth everything over. All right. So now these are going to go back into our 300-degree oven, once again on the middle rack, and they're going to bake for 15 minutes. Once they've baked for 15 minutes, we're going to remove them and let them cool down at room temperature for 20 minutes, and then we're ready to remove them and to plate them. So I'm just going to pop these in the oven and I'll show you the finished product. So now our little mini cheesecakes have had a chance to bake and set at room temperature for 20 minutes and we're ready to plate them. So this is what the finished product looks like. And we're just going to pop these guys out of the muffin tin and set them out for presentation. So the easiest way to do this is to take a butter knife and just run the rim around the cheesecake. And then gently, we're going to just lift it out and we'll set it down on a plate. So as you can see, I've already got a few prepared from earlier. And another way to just add a little touch of elegance to them is you can top them with, I've chopped up some basil and just topped it off with some basil. But you could also use some of your sun-dried tomatoes or some olive tapenade, whatever your preference. So these are the mini zesty Italian cheesecakes. I hope you enjoy, and happy cooking.